We are here today to discuss the recommendations that resulted from a comprehensive review of Alberta's bail system. The review was conducted by former federal Crown prosecutor Nancy Irving. We asked the review to consider the following things: who should conduct bail hearings and in what circumstances, how to best use Section 524 of the Criminal Code, which deals with individuals who are arrested while already out on bail on other charges, what information should be provided in bail packages and how to ensure the accuracy and availability of that information, and the coordination of bail proceedings between provincial and federal prosecutors. Ms. Irving's review gathered information from more than 50 individuals and groups, including the judiciary, police services, criminal defense lawyers, the provincial and federal prosecutors, victims groups, Indigenous court workers, Legal Aid Alberta, and the John Howard and Elizabeth Fry Societies. Meetings were held with key stakeholders in various locations across the province. Ms. Irving used the information to develop 31 recommendations in the Alberta Bail Review, which we're releasing today. By way of history on this matter, the review arose as a result of the recommendations of a report into the interaction of the Alberta Crown Prosecution Service with Sean Wren. On January 17, 2015, 2 RCMP officers were shot at the St. Albert Casino by an individual who was out on bail. Constable David Wynn died from his injuries, and Auxiliary Constable Derek Bond was injured. This was a tragic incident that impacted not only these officers, their families, and communities, but the entire community of St. Albert, our province, and the nation. This incident resulted in a report which recommended the review that we're releasing today. To be clear, the review we're releasing today looked at the entire system, not one specific incident. With respect to the 31 recommendations in the report, we've created 3 categories for the recommendations. The first is recommendations that are already implemented or where work is underway in the ministry. About a third of the recommendations fall into this category. The second category contains recommendations where additional work is required or where consultation with our partners or stakeholders is necessary. The last category is recommendations that are not directly within the ministry's purview. The first 6 recommendations in the review focus on who should present at bail hearings. One recommendation is that Crown prosecutors ultimately replace police presenters at hearing office bail hearings. We have begun work to explore the recommendations and will be consulting widely on this, including with police, federal prosecutors, and defense counsel. To ensure that the bail system continues to function as usual, while we consider the recommendations and work with stakeholders, I've designated specific police officers within various police services in Alberta as having the authority to conduct first appearance bail hearings before justices of the peace. In future, if we decide to move to Crown prosecutors replacing police presenters at bail hearings, this change may have an impact on our current process, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week bail process. Alberta is the only province in Canada that conducts 24-hour bail, and this unique aspect of the system will be difficult to maintain if some of the other recommendations in the review are implemented. As we move forward, we must ensure that the appropriate information is available when decisions around bail are being made. The bail system needs to be looked at thoughtfully and thoroughly before significant change is made. This is a system which balances fundamental rights and public security. We must be careful not only to improve the system, but to avoid any unintended consequences. With the review, we've made some important first steps. We know there's a lot more work to do. This review has provided some important information, but we must continue to work with partners to ensure that we're balancing the interests of all Albertans as we move forward. So thank you very much for coming.